That was a nice little pause there.
Well, welcome y'all to another episode of TECK Foul. Yeah, everybody heard you leave me hanging for a second. Everybody heard you. So let's go ahead and cue that theme music and get into it. Welcome to episode 345 of Technical Foul, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, a.k.a. Ass Ketchum, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To Me. What up?
What up, though?
I'm the Eric J.
Only known as
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman.
The gentleman.
The everyday gentleman.
24/7.
But better known as me.
All right, y'all. Some housekeeping. Haven't told y'all this in a while, but if you haven't already followed us on social media, please make sure that you do that.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
You can find us at Technical Foul. That's TECKNICAL.
Don't forget to put the K at the end of that motherfucker.
That's right. It's not TECH. No, there's no H in here. It's a K up in that mug. So make sure y'all put the K.
Get the H out of here.
So at Technical Foul on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, Technical Foul Podcast on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you are following us on all of those different platforms. And if you are not yet subscribed to the YouTube, please do that. Hit the notification bell because we record this show live on our YouTube every Tuesday night. Around 7 p.m. We got off to a little bit of a later start today for technical difficulties, but it be like that sometimes. But if you were on the YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification button, you know when we go live anyway, so you could join and still be part of the show. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification button, and join us on Tuesdays when we record the show so y'all can be part of it.
Absolutely.
All right. Game that needs a name. We're doing rappers, right?
Indeed.
Rap. All right. I don't know why me doing that reminded me of that one white woman who did the hip hop. This is hip hop. You gotta move your shoulders.
That was terrible.
Like this.
Oh, shit.
I loved
She was
that
getting
video
that
when
shit,
it came
man.
out. Man.
She had the tracksuit on too.
That shit was terrible.
This is hip hop. Anywho.
Like, bro, if you don't sit your ass
That's
down.
a classic. That's a classic. But the game that needs a name, in case you were unfamiliar, it is a rapid fire memory game that we play here. We choose a topic. This week is going to be rappers, as you just heard.
Rebels.
And we will go in tech order. Tim, Eric, myself, Camille, and then Ken.
Indeed.
You only get about 5 seconds to answer. You cannot repeat an answer. So last person standing wins.
Let's
That
get
being
it.
said, Tim, rappers, kick us off.
Wu-Tang, nigga.
That nigga came out. You can
Well,
damn
is that
near
really
win
your
just
answer?
naming names.
But I was literally gonna do it. I was gonna be like RZA.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, you can win doing that.
I mean, they rapped as a group.
I'll give you that though.
so what's your
Okay,
answer?
that was actually your answer.
Yes.
Okay, Drake.
Will Smith.
Dooch.
Hey,
Biggie.
Kendrick Lamar.
Tupac.
Jay-Z.
Will Smith.
I said that.
Damn, that was
Well, he
quick.
got out of there ASAP.
Kid Cudi.
Queen Latifah.
Shorty Low.
Kanye West.
Salt and Pepper.
Soulja Boy.
Cardi B.
Left Eye.
Nicki Minaj.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Glorilla.
Lotto.
Bia.
Who?
Bia.
Yeah, Bia.
Lil Wayne.
Webby.
Lil Kim.
Ludacris.
Boosie.
Lil Zane.
You got me with that one.
Oh shit. Goddamn, I'm out.
Lil Zane.
Yeah, Lil Zane threw a nigga out.
Didn't you used to love Lil Zane?
Don't tell everybody.
Oh, Lil Zane. Hell
I'm
no.
pretty sure she's a lot of nigga.
I thought he was so fine. Oh my God, I thought Lil Zane was so
Lil
fine.
Zane.
I live the life of a celebrity. I made bigger, way bigger than the mother catch you on the seat. Fake Tupac. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. Let's move on.
That was 3 pot.
Let's move on. All right, y'all. So on the slate for the show this week, we are of course going to talk NBA Finals. We're gonna talk
Finals?
some WWE.
WWE.
And we got a lot in the quick hits today. It's been a lot of just different things popping up that we want to make sure we have time to discuss. So let's get on right into it. Before we discuss the NBA Finals, which kick off on Thursday of this week, we have to do a quick prediction check-in to see how we have done so far predicting how the NBA playoffs would unfold. Tim and Eric, they in the lead right now. Both of them are 11-3. Meanwhile, myself and Ken are 10-4. So we are right. Hey, we are right there. In this past round, Tim went 1-1, Eric went 2-0, I went 1-1, and Ken went 2-0. Y'all can imagine that the losses there. We're definitely not the Pacers, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely not the Pacers. It was the Timberwolves. So before we move into the NBA Finals, is there anything that you want to say about either the Timberwolves or the Pacers before we talk about the teams that beat them to make it to the NBA Finals?
I mean, fuck the Pacers, but I hope that they don't fall into that trap that other teams have fallen into where they make a surprise conference finals run, be like, we're right there. It's like, no, you're not. Like, no offense, but you're not.
You're not believing it?
No, not at all. Like, you got a nice little solid team. Like, you can build on this, but don't think like, oh, we need to push all our chips in now to make a run. Like, you're not there yet. Just keep building, and you'll get there eventually. Maybe.
I think that's fair. I mean, look at the path that they had to the conference finals. They, yeah, I feel it. Timberwolves. Woo, boy, Karl Anthony Towns. I think I said on the show last, I was like, hey, when Karl Anthony Towns plays well, they win. And
that man's so inconsistent.
He did not play well.
He had one game.
So inconsistent.
He had one game where he was Big Purr.
Big Purr. But he's so fucking good. That's the thing. Is like, bro, just consistently do that. Big Purr is nuts. Like, that is nuts. Big Purr.
Did y'all see?
I wish I could do that.
Big Purr is nuts.
Rachel Nichols posted like a cat emoji is ready. And a picture of cat. Yeah. So you can imagine the cat on Twitter. That one.
Big Purr.
But like, I do wonder as Anthony Edwards continues to grow, like, can Karl Anthony Towns give him just enough to kind of help him out? Like, I think that he's talented enough to be a number 2 on a good team. Yeah. I mean, obviously he was this year, but like, as he gets more acclimated to the playoffs, like maybe he can learn to give you at least a baseline level of consistency that Ant needs as he continues to grow into the player that he'll become.
So from like, we've been seeing this for some years now, and we see like this, he's athletic, like he can do all the things. Like he shows us like
Come on, Ant.
Yeah, Ant. Yeah. He shows
Cat.
Towns.
Okay.
Yeah, Cat. Big Purr. Like what is his problem? Like why can't he can't consistently do it? It's all mental? You think it's all in his head?
Think about one of his problems was always fouling. Like he was just like,
he makes
stupid decisions. So that's definitely between the ears. I mean, in this series, what was crazy is that he was getting a lot of good shots.
Yeah.
They just weren't falling for him. And there's not much you can do about that when you know, like, I'm a good shooter, I'm getting good looks. Yeah. Maybe you go back to the tape and see if your form was off or something like that. But, like, generally speaking,
he slumped at the wrong time.
Yeah, he just didn't make shots when he needed to.
And also, one thing that I forgot is that he was injured down the stretch. He came back with two games to go in the regular season. So, like, if we didn't have the track record of Cat in the playoffs prior to this year, like, that might be, like, more of an explanation, not excuse, as to why, like, maybe he just wasn't 100%, which I think would be valid. But like your point about like he's a shooter, he was getting good looks, like that's why it was annoying that TNT's analysis was like Shaq is like sees everything as a nail because he's a hammer. He's just like, you know, fix it, take your big ass in the post and dominate. It's like that's not his game. That's not who he is. Like,
he's not built like that. Man.
No,
that's why they were okay.
But
with
what?
Rudy.
It's not a lot of big men in the game built like that anyway. Though.
And the game ain't built for players to do that. Anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that Minnesota's issue is going to be their cap going forward because they maxed out Rudy, Karl Anthony Towns, and Edwards. Like because of his All NBA selection, his
got bumped up, and they paid McDaniels too.
So now you got just between them three is like almost $100 million.
But with those four, I believe they're already over the luxury tax.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. So it's like they really don't have much wiggle room already
on
the team that they're looking to build.
Or like they extended Conley. So like, yeah, their tax bill is going to be significant, and they're going through like that fight with the ownership group. So like they don't even know like who's going to own the team 2 years from now. So it's going to be hard for them to continue to add salary or to even maintain, honestly, at this point, because you don't know whose purse is coming out of.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed though. I had a lot of faith in those guys. It really came down to the stars.
The games were close.
They were close. They were competitive L's, but
L's nevertheless.
It came down to the stars, bro. Like two showed up, two didn't.
If Big Part knocks some shots down, like it's a different conversation that we're having here. But Minnesota had a good year.
What is it about Cat that people really don't like? Is it because he's not inconsistent? I mean, is it because he is inconsistent, or people see like, yo, you should be way better than like where you are right now? Because people people really don't like him.
Is your question like other players or the general public?
General public. Like I don't like every time you see anything about Cat like on social media or someone says anything about him is always negative.
Well, like
there's nothing ever positive.
Some of these people get reputations, and then like it just sticks with them forever. Like
so, anything he does, he's always going to be.
It's all like
he's going to be the butt of the joke, regardless.
Like the Nasus, like it's a different level of player, but like the Nasus is like the go-to joke, and you get a bunch of engagements if you make jokes. The Nasus is expense. Like the Nasus could be just sitting there clapping for his brother, be like, "He's the number one cheerleader, huh?" And then like get 50 million retweets. Like it's just like some people get reputations. Like Paul George, like he actually was a really good playoff performer up until like the bubble, and then like all the playoff P stuff started. I mean, self-inflicted for sure, but like now he has that reputation that no matter what, like people aren't gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because he's seen as like a playoff choker or whatever it is.
James Harden.
I mean, that it's been earned, honestly. But like, I'm thinking more so of like who's gonna get the jokes regardless, like, and they're not gonna be able to change the narrative about themselves.
That's tough. But yeah, a good season for Minnesota, a good season for Indiana. Didn't end the way, of course, Indiana wanted it to, end the way the Bucks fans wanted it to with them losing. But even still, it wasn't that satisfying for me. Maybe for others, like I don't care they lost, but like I wanted to see Tyrese Halliburton out there
getting locked up.
Because he has that look. He looks so sad when he is down.
Yep. That's what I wanted to see.
It's just, and honestly, it's just all from the front running shit. If it wasn't that, it wouldn't even really be like that. But they talk so much shit all year. And it was a budding. It's a rivalry.
They made it to the conference finals.
They made it to the conference finals. They whooped our ass about 7 times this year.
More than that.
Because we got 4 in the playoffs, and then they was 3 for 4, wasn't they, this year?
No,
4 out of 5.
God damn, 8 times this year. That's a rivalry. That is a rivalry. Honestly, no matter what nobody says, that is a rivalry.
I don't know. A team beat you 8 out of 11 times?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's much of a rivalry, to be quite honest.
Because we've been whooping their ass for a while, so now they're just kind of getting their get back.
Yeah,
that's why it becomes a rivalry.
That's like us and Denver. Like he said, he just busting our ass.
Oh,
no,
yeah. I thought you meant that was a rivalry.
No, they just bust our ass. I wouldn't even consider a rivalry either. It's like we just get our blood there. So. We hate them.
Hey, you got JJ now.
Ooh. Look, real quick before we get into the NBA finals, let's just
go ahead and talk about it, bro.
How do you feel? So, in case you guys haven't heard, it's
damn near. They just waiting.
They're reporting it without reporting it. As
you know how
Shams be like, they're zeroed in.
Yeah, like the draft picks. Yeah, they're eyeballing this pick. Like, no.
The direct quote from Shams was, "The Los Angeles Lakers are zeroing in on JJ Redick as the front runner for the franchise's next head coach. Redick is serving as an analysis during the NBA Finals, and a move is not expected to be announced until afterward." Laker fan, Ken.
So translation.
Our new head coach.
Yeah.
Once the finals is over, that's
then JJB. Okay. So like I said last week, this is the most Lakers shit ever. This is what the Lakers do. Let me start off with saying I am a fan of JJ Redick. Like I've always been a fan of JJ, even like through college. Like always loved. Like I like shooters.
You must be the only black dude I know that was a fan of JJ Redick.
Yeah, like I can call up Snow and like my real niggas. They be like, this nigga love JJ Redick.
Eric's in here like I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's just something about his game. Like I always fuck with him. And I was like, I prefer a more seasoned coach. Our track record with like first time like head coaches is horrible. Like it has never panned out for us. And like I understand
outside of Pat Riley, that was the first and only one.
But how long ago was that though?
Lifetime.
Before we were born.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, but like again, JJ, he's a great basketball mind. He knows he X's and O's. He's LeBron's guy.
That's it.
He be talking this shit on that podcast. I wouldn't listen to the podcast. I was like, he be talking that shit.
Mind your game?
Yeah, I was like, he be talking that. He be breaking it down. So I was like, he knows what he's doing. But the thing I'm worried about is how is it going to transition to you telling me what I need to do and you JJ Redick? Like I'm Anthony Davis or whoever. Like how are you going to take command of a locker room or take command of a team?
He's never coached past the youth level at this point.
And that's what I'm saying. So how, like, personalities, we got hella personalities on our squad. Yep. So how are you going to deal with that? Like, fingers crossed. Like, of course, I hope everything works out. But again, like, this is the most Lakers shit ever. It's like, JJ, yeah, welcome, bro.
I mean, they do say, they said that JJ Redick has Pat Riley potential. People look at him and they like, that could be the next Pat Riley.
But see, that's the issue.
Ow.
Is that y'all saying that, and this is what Laker Nation is going to expect. Then when it don't happen, we finna be fuck them like immediately.
So like I do wonder if like people underrate like actually playing in the league. Like you have to have a baseline level of competence and strategy and like especially like when you don't have physical tools like that just get you by. Like JJ had to work to get to where he was at.
Yeah, to
stay and to catch up. Like he was a great college player, so he has at least like that reputation where people are like, oh yeah, he was a killer, he was cold.
Yeah,
he was a late lottery pick, so he has kind of a pedigree. But at the same time, like Stan was not fucking with him when he was in Orlando. Like he had to scratch and claw for every minute that he got, and then when he got on, like he had to scratch and claw to stay. And like he was a target in the playoffs, and he had to fight like hell to like get that label off of him to a degree. Like he's always gonna be the target because he's the white dude on the court. Yeah. But like he at least was able to survive in a lot of very high leverage playoff environments because he could kind of think the game. He knew what he was supposed to do. He knew his assignments.
He was able to mind the game.
Yeah. He was able to mind the game. So like I don't want to discount that. Like he doesn't have head coaching experience. And, like that's a different level of everything. But I do think that people look at he was never an assistant coach. It's like okay, he was the vet mentor on the team. Like he was one of
he was basically like, coaching
the liaison between the coaching staff and the players. Like in his later years. So like I'm not as concerned about that. Like because also like the alternative is who's the seasoned coach that was actually available to them.
Yeah, so we at this
especially
point,
once Budenholzer got hired. Like
it's like who the hell are we going to get anyway right now?
I mean, James Franco was the only other name that was like one of the finalists.
Yeah. But then it's the Lakers. Like being a head coach of the Lakers, it comes with so much. Like the spotlight is automatically on you because the Lakers is still that story franchise. It's a story franchise. We don't watch so many coaches come in, but we expect the coach to do stuff with a roster, with a team that they can't do shit with. I'm not gonna say that happened to Darvin Ham, but you can tell midway through the season. I want to say like February, right before All-Star break, is when Darvin Ham lost the locker room. And you can, by watching the games, you can tell like how people were interacting with him. LeBron was sunning him, all types of shit. Like if you can really watch it,
I think that's the number one issue. He lost LeBron, and then he lost everybody else.
Yeah.
Like if LeBron's falling in line, everybody else got to.
Yeah.
But if you lose LeBron, like you done.
Yeah, then it's over.
Which also is why I'm sure, like LeBron's trying to act like he's removed from this coaching search. But I'm pretty sure Rob was watching the Mind the Game podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they good. We here.
They got the chemistry. Fuck
He got Brown. We good.
So, per The Athletic, multiple sources briefed on the matter said one person who has become a respected unofficial source for the Lakers during the process is Mike Krasinski, former Duke head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, that kind of helped. But also, the Lakers have been seeking for a coach who has the potential and staying power to be their head man for now in the long term, as someone who will command the locker room and hold players accountable, as well as tirelessly game plan and provide a level of structure and organization, according to those sources. And they believe that Redick is the candidate who can check all of those boxes.
And then one more thing is that LeBron is out the door
soon.
So I just hope that.
But his son is coming in.
Right, yeah, I'm about to draft him.
If the Suns
second round,
first.
we could draft him second round.
No.
The Suns said 22.
22. Y'all got 17.
No, bro, second round, fam. We
If
got
y'all
picked.
draft
We got like
Bronny at
52, I
17,
think.
Y'all got 17.
That's
Bronny at 17.
So here's one thing that I am concerned about with JJ is that
Fucking Lakers.
he
bro.
got a little Aaron Rodgers in him.
Who that?
in-
Who do?
JJ.
Okay.
In this specific way. Like, I feel like JJ always looks at himself as the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Like, from his TV appearances, which could be a persona, but like the way that he carried himself on the basketball court was like, he's really cocky. He has a big ego.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like, that may not work for every player.
Yeah.
And unless like you come in and you're instantly successful, like you kind of have to build that trust and that relationship with, players 3 through 15, not just the top 2.
Yeah.
And then we have to figure out what is success. So you as a first year
Championship.
coach, and that's the only that's
it.
That's the Laker mentality, fam.
It's championship.
If we don't go to the championship, fam, what the fuck are we doing?
That's That's it.
So it's like that is a tough task, fam. And like I said, I personally like JJ. Like, honestly, it was nobody else that we could really get at this point. JJ, you here? Welcome to Laker Nation.
It's not official yet, Ken. You have to welcome him like in a couple of weeks when the finals is over.
I'm for the Texas nigga right now.
You gotta stop him.
Hey, look at that. Hey, nigga, you want to hop on podcast? How about this one? But no, I mean, I don't know, man. Like the Lakers, it's just I don't know, folks.
We'll see. I mean, hey, he could be the next Pat Riley, or he could be the next Darvin Ham. Time will tell.
Goddamn.
As long as he ain't the next Adrian Griffin, he good.
Lord Jesus.
I mean,
You never know.
you don't.
Lord have mercy.
And that man had years of
But I don't-
assistant coaching experience.
But I feel like
that's
it's going to be set up for him not to fail right away. I feel like. Hopefully.
We'll see.
He better build his staff. That's all I'll say.
That's absolutely true.
Who out here right now?
Sam Cassell.
He coming to
That's on
Milwaukee.
staff.
Sam Cassell coming to Milwaukee. All right. Anywho, let's talk about the finals.
Finals.
Dallas Mavericks representing the West.
Hey.
Boston Celtics representing the East.
East.
Who y'all got?
Mavs all day, baby.
How many games?
6.
Who you
7
got?
in Dallas.
Dallas and 7?
Dallas and 7.
What you got?
I have Dallas in 6, but I'm like rethinking that because like if he picked Dallas,
Get it. What
He was right last.
I'm a Dallas fan, though, so I ain't
about the predictions.
And fuck
Like,
Boston.
I can win if Boston wins.
Fuck a Boston.
Well,
This man here.
do I want to win?
What team do you think
If
you're
you
going
don't
to
pick
win?
the If you don't pick the Mavs, it's like fuck Boston.
I can't in good conscience pick
Boston.
Boston.
Thank you. Thank
Are you gonna root for Jason Tatum now?
But how badly do I want to win is the question.
You want
Hey,
it so
man.
bad you go root for Jason Tatum.
I
Hey,
don't
here's-
root for
you
one.
know,
these wins and losses don't mean shit.
Right. Here's the thing. It's doing predictions, looking at the NBA Finals. It's not who I want to win.
Mhm.
I want the Dallas Mavericks to win.
Yeah.
I think the Boston Celtics will win. I'm
And that's
going
literally
Boston
where
in
I'm at.
7.
And that's why
Who?
I'm like, do I go with like, okay,
Who?
I can win and be right, or can I just root against Boston in good conscience because like I ain't picked them niggas in.
Like I'm gonna say, I got Boston in 7 to win this series, and I will be cheering for Dallas every single game. I do not care about being right. Like I want Dallas to win, but I think it's going to be Boston
Let's
because
go.
like
It does feel like a 7-game series. Though.
no, it's at least 6.
It's going to be a really good series.
Mhm.
I don't think people are going like it's going to be a really good series.
I think I got Dallas in 7 because Boston has a tendency to give you games, and I think Dallas has the
Can't give
tendency to close those games that they're going to
Mhm.
give
They
them.
got the clutch players.
Yeah.
And that because like there were a number of games that Boston probably should have lost. Not even just in the Pacers series, but like earlier series in
Miami.
The playoffs. Cleveland. Like in every series, there were games where it's like they didn't actually win them in the clutch. It's just like the other team
blew it, boy.
And it's like Dallas has two of the best closers in the league.
Absolutely.
Firing on all cylinders right now. So yeah, it's like you said, like they have a tendency to give away games down the stretch. And they actually are going up against a team that can take it from them.
Correct.
So, but here's the thing with that too. Dallas has not played a team like Boston. Like this is going to be the best team that they play, and they're uniquely put together to present a very different defensive challenge for them to try to solve. Now, we know good offense beats good defense. But Boston they can throw out 4+ wing defenders at a time. Yeah. Like that's no other team has been able to do that to that extent where it's like, okay, we can throw Derek White on Kyrie and have him start there. We can put Drew on Luka, or we can put Jaylen Brown on Luka to start. It don't matter because the way Boston wants to play defense anyways is it's going to switch. And I don't think Boston is going to switch any of those matchups and be like, I'm at a disadvantage. Like, who are you hunting? Derek White because he's the small one?
Luka would.
I think Luka would.
No, sure. And that's what you got to do. You got to pick the worst of the best. Like,
but also the thing with switching is that like it's 1-on-1 and like they have two dudes that can kind of break you down off the dribble and get to the shot that they want.
They can, but they have the best perimeter defenders that you can throw at. Like, so it's going to be a battle of we have Derek White and Drew Holiday, and then you have Luka and Kyrie. Because here's the thing, like yes, for sure, the two of them are going to get buckets in Dallas, but I think people underestimate Boston's offense as well. Like Boston's offense has been outstanding throughout the year. It's been great during the playoffs as well.
The highest efficiency in NBA history.
Yes, like this. It's not as if it's like it's just defense with Boston. Like they literally are both ways. Like you got Jaylen Brown. Okay, you want to cut off Jason Tatum's water? Cool. You also have to account for the fact that Luka and Kyrie are going to have to defend too.
Correct.
Now,
which they've been doing at a better level.
They have, especially Kyrie. Especially Kyrie. So I'm going to give him credit on that.
Absolutely.
But you can get in situations where, and we've seen it, because Drew Holiday isn't being asked to be an offensive weapon. Like, you've seen it a little bit more where a situation like, hey, Drew, you got this, go get this bucket real quick. Or Tatum might be off, but you got Brown, you got Derek White. Like, and Kristaps Porzingis is back. And
that's going to be the game changer.
And Dallas has not had to play a stretch big that they had.
Dallas has, I don't know how they can.
But I think Gafford and Lively have the mobility. Yes, they did.
I mean, I know he wasn't there, but like,
yeah.
Porzingis,
they had to play Cat, but they also had Gobert out there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I guess Chet is also kind of like
you had Chet, but who do you Chet or KP when it comes to 3-point shooting? So like that's the thing, and even with that, like you had Gobert and you had Cat, so one still was able to cheat off, and you can play. You can't cheat off nobody on Boston. They gonna play 5 out. Now you pulling those bigs out.
Yeah, but they have mobile enough bigs to where they can actually still.
The only one that's the best mobile big they have is Maxi Kleber.
You don't think Lively can move?
He's not.
He can move for a big, but like he's not dancing on the perimeter with Jason Tatum.
Or Brown. Like that's where this matchup gets real interesting, because it's going to be 5 out, and everybody's going to have to come out. Because Dallas before they could park Gafford bottom rim, because you don't really want him in space.
And they still got Derek Jones.
He's a wing guy. He's going to be probably on one of the Jays.
He's one of their better defenders too.
He is. He is.
So like he'll be able to clip one of, like, even if they're on defensive side, they'll probably put him on either Tatum or
and then you put PJ on the other one.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like I hear you, but like the size, PJ can match Tatum's size.
No, I trust me when I
get it though. like still Jason Tatum.
It's
like
tough.
But at least they have something where it's like it's a complete mismatch across the board. They can literally match up with them size wise too.
I think that Boston has the advantage in this series. It's, can Dallas do enough defensively to slow them down, and can they figure out ways to poke holes in their defense?
Well, Dallas,
like, I think that's the way we have to look at it. It's not necessarily like, oh, Boston got to, like, you kind of have to start from the point of like, Boston presents these problems. How does Dallas solve it, and not vice versa?
Dallas would be the best defense Boston has played this postseason, right?
Yeah, they're best defense in the league for
the last 20 games. So yeah, Cleveland would have been better had they not been decimated by injury.
So I feel again, it's one of those like, Dallas hasn't played an offense like this in essence, and Boston hasn't played a defense like this in essence.
Yeah. So which one's
that's all? It's got to go 7. It's gotta go. It's gonna be some, but I feel like Boston just gonna give some. The ones that they typically give away, it's gonna hurt them this time.
It might, and that's the thing too, because I can see a path where Dallas wins. Like I said, let me be very. I'm cheering for Dallas in this series. Because here's the thing: if we get to the fourth quarter, we get down to crunch time. It's 5 minutes left, and the game is close. That's where Boston does not do well.
Give it to Tatum.
And I'm gonna be like this man thing. He got a Kobe fetish. Who was I talking to? I won't say their name. But they said Jason Tatum is just Danny Granger with a Kobe fetish.
Jesus Christ. Danny Granger?
I used to fuck with Danny Granger.
Danny Granger was cool. Yeah, I was just saying, Danny Granger
actually might be shame at Danny Granger.
Yeah, Danny Granger was cool.
Like, I fucked with Danny Granger.
Danny Granger somewhere like, why you say me?
Yeah, he was cool.
Let me ask y'all this, because we said who we think we got. Who do you think is going to be the biggest X factor in the series? It can be either team.
Kyrie.
Why Kyrie?
His ability to play off of Luka, and his ability to just take control of the game, especially like in clutch time, like off his run through him, like especially like if we need a bucket or it's 2 minutes left in the game, it's a close game, like Kyrie go take over, and I feel like just the 1-2 punch with him and Luka. But I feel like Kyrie is the X factor.
Do you believe what Kyrie is saying
he can
about
still
the mental part?
Yeah, and I feel like that even Kyrie doesn't even have to score much. Just him.
He don't need to in this series.
Yeah, in this series he's going to have to, but he still can be effectively offensively and not even like, have to be the bucket or whatever. So that's why I feel like Kyrie will be.
Eric, who's your X factor in this series?
Porzingis.
Why?
We don't know what his health status is.
We don't know what we get.
And like he presents, like to your point, like he does present more of a problem.
Big one.
Yeah.
Because I think that if it's just Horford and
Gafford chase him around.
Jumpy jump guy. What's the
jumpy jump
guy? Cornette. Luke Cornette or Xavier Tillman. Like those are much more manageable bigs that you can kind of sag off. Like yes, Al Horford can kill you, but like he's kind of reluctant. He's kind of reluctant to though.
Yeah, he don't want
to do that.
But he will do it.
Porzingis wants to do that. Like there's a difference there where it's like, oh, this is the shot you're giving me? Cool. Whereas I was like, fuck yeah, I guess I'll take this shot. You know what I mean? And then once he gets rolling, like he gets a little bit more confident, but I don't feel like that's like you can kind of like play the psychological game with him a little bit where it's like daring him to shoot and then he really gets reluctant.
And then the flip side to your Porzingis point, as well as on defense, like they missed his rim protection, like that. You get another 7-footer back in there to help you out with that. So I think that's.
And plus, he got something to prove too, because him and Luka, just how he left Dallas, and him and Luka got it. We're butting heads.
They're gonna need him for Lob City.
And I was gonna say to your point about rim protection, like that opens up things for Lively and Gafford to catch lobs at the rim, because it's like. If you think about Dallas, it's not necessarily guys that are going to like drive and get to the rim. Like, yes, Kyrie can. Yeah. Like he has a crazy finishing package. Pause. But like Luka's not like a like a Giannis where it's like get downhill and finish at the rim. It's kind of like they get to their spots, they rise up, they shoot jumpers. But like where they're deadly around the rim is like that dunker spot. Yeah. And like if you got KP down there, that helps a ton. Whereas Horford is not the vertical threat that.
Nah. He's a little bit slower too. Yeah. Tim, who's your X factor in this NBA Finals matchup?
I'm torn between.
I'm Eric.
Yeah.
Torn.
Dad jokes.
Hey.
The bench of Dallas. Because I like. That's my point. That's exactly my point. It's like
we run about. They run about
the starters. Cool on for both teams. Cool, but once you start bringing in the benches,
they got some length though.
But Boston's bench is a lot more consistent. Pritchard will have a game. Like he'll come off the bench and light your ass up out of nowhere.
But they also have more defensive liabilities on their bench too.
True,
which may open up things for them offensively.
But it's also
clarify for the people which thems and theys you mean.
Sorry, there are more defensive liabilities on Boston's bench. Like you have Pritchard, you have Hauser. You got Cornette.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like there are more people that you can and there are more people that you can attack. Like if like you get to one of those stages in the game where you have you're always gonna have one of Luka or Kyrie on the court at all times. If it happens to be a time where Boston's bench heavy lineup is on, and like you have both of those dudes on, come here. You come here. Like it's just gonna be like shooting fish in a barrel. So like that may be where Dallas is able to make up a little bit of ground that they lose when it's just like starters.
That's a great point.
Or Drew Holiday.
Drew's gonna be mine. So you can go.
So I'll keep the benches then.
Oh, man. They're gonna make me hate Drew after this.
So here's the thing.
They can never make me hate you.
Right. That's the thing.
I follow this real cool Mavericks fan on Twitter. We've been Twitter followers for years at this point. He was, he's a Mavericks fan, so he's like, yeah, this ain't gonna be as for everybody thing, this and that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, listen, Luka and Drew will be a battle whenever that matchup occurs. But just having Drew Holiday.
He's a menace.
And being able to throw him out there in playoff basketball where refs do not call things as well. Like you saw Lou Dort. I mean, listen, Luka still was Luka, but we talked about it before in Tech Fouls. So if you listen, you understand how we feel about star players. You can never really take a star out the game. You just got to try to make it difficult. Mm-hmm. You don't want them getting 30 on 15 shots. You want them to get 30 on 25, 30 shots. You want to make it hard on them. Mm-hmm. And Drew Holiday can do that. The switching prowess, again, Boston wants to try to play you one-on-one as much as possible. They're going to switch and they're going to try to keep you in front. And when you have a defensive guy like Drew Holiday being one of those dudes, like he can really swing a series, especially if the refs let him play.
Question for you.
Yes.
If you're Joe Mazzulla, how do you deploy Drew defensively?
That's a great question.
And giving some options. So, obviously, you can start him on Luka, you can start him on Kyrie.
We're starting Derek White on Kyrie.
But considering that you're going to be switching a bunch anyway, do you use him against, maybe one of the bigs where he can kind of hold his own? He's demonstrated that he can hold his own against five, especially ones that aren't necessarily dominant back-to-the-basket players.
Yeah.
So then that messes up, that completely blows up their pick and roll, off jump. Mm-hmm. Because you call up a big, and then you got Drew Holiday switching. You're not creating an advantage in that way.
Listen, with that being said, I think if I remember correctly, when they played in March, which was the only game they played after the trade deadline, I believe it was Jaylen Brown who had the Luka assignment. Probably for that reason, with the switching and everything like that. So then you can get real funky with that. So, I mean, could be Jaylen Brown, but I wouldn't even be cute. I'm just gonna be like, Drew, this is your primary assignment. It's not gonna be the only assignment. You got to throw different things at him. But I think I would just go Derek White on Kyrie, Drew Holiday on Luka, and let's roll from there as the primary ones. Of course, you're gonna see different things, but I think that's where I would go.
It's gonna be a great series, man.
Absolutely, I cannot
I'm excited.
wait.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
Sorry, I'm thinking through this a little bit more because I'm you can hide Porzingis on
Effort.
Jones Jr. No. And then if you have Drew on the big, then it's then
the switches don't make
sense. Then the switches don't matter, and you can still keep Porzingis close to the rim.
And that's kind of how they play their zone.
You said that's what?
That's kind of how they play their zone, where Drew is kind of
Drew's
man in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Which is
what? So the minute that the big is switched, he's switching right onto the guard.
Yeah,
it makes sense. That's smart as shit. When I seen it earlier, I'm like, that makes a lot of fucking sense,
man. Listen. But yeah, I can't wait for this to start. I think it goes at least 6. We got 3 people saying it's going to be Dallas. I'm the lone, lone person saying it's going to be Boston.
Thursday.
I think
I would never in my life say Boston. Just know that. Fuck Boston.
Journalistic integrity be damned.
Till I die. I don't care if I get a job on ESPN. They're going to have a fuck Boston. Fire me.
All right, let us know, y'all, in the comments. Let us know on wherever social media who y'all got in the NBA Finals as well. And I'd be curious to know if anybody listened to this conversation was like, I got so-and-so. Then they heard it and it was like,
you know what? Y'all make valid points.
I actually think I'm going to go with so-and-so instead. So let us know how y'all feeling about the finals.
Indeed.
I think it's going to be fun.
Real quick, can somebody see that? I'm blurred.
38-56.
Thank you.
My eyes was blurred too, and I just didn't want to say nothing. I just let that be. But listen, okay, wrestling. Eric, why don't you kick us off? And the doc, gentlemen, I have it ordered for wrestling.
She does. So we're in the new era of WWE, the Triple H era, Cody Rhodes era, whatever the hell they're calling it. Mm-hmm. And basically, we've pretty much reset all the titles, save for the U.S. title, since WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So of those new champions, who do you think has had your favorite title reign, the best title reign so far, and which one has been the most disappointing?
This is still early, but I'm very much enjoying Liv Morgan.
Really?
I am locked in.
Way more.
This is very interesting. I mean, because first and foremost, Rhea Ripley, no one thought she was going to get injured. So they had to pivot off of that storyline immediately, get the new champion. They put it on Becky, which made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Somebody who has the prestige, the cachet, the reputation, so on and so forth. She carries it for a month and a half, a month, drops it to Liv in a way that involves the Judgment Day. So it's still like Rhea Ripley is still present without having to be present. And I love the way they've been telling this story.
You hear her name constantly.
Again, rewind about a month ago where it's like, hey, maybe let them tell the story that they want to tell. Don't just like hotshot the belt on the Liv in a fucking
battle royal.
Like you actually made the story mean something. You built momentum. Like basically they just subbed in Becky for what I'm assuming they were going to do with Rhea in the first place, which is, like create this rivalry, create this whole thing with Dom. Like they were still able to tell the story in a different way that still makes it worthwhile that Liv is now the champion in a much stronger position than she would have been if you gave it to her on page 3 of the story as opposed to the end of, you know what I mean? Like it just let them tell their fucking story.
It's been great, and Dominic's been playing the role outstanding.
Yeah, shout out to him.
They had me cracking up on Raw when she in the corner and he trying to look everywhere but at her, like no. And then here come Finn Balor out of nowhere, back up,
blocking my boy.
On social media, she went on Dom stuff and started liking every single thing on there.
And he recorded it and posted it, and then she commented under that, and she was just like, "I love when you show me attention," or something like that.
I love when you show me off.
Like this is beautiful.
So that's Damian Priest even posted said red flags. I was like, and y'all know how I feel about Liv. But if they're doing it this way,
this bar taking me out.
I was like, damn. But if how they're telling the story and how they're making everything, it's more tolerable. Like I can tolerate her being the champion for a little bit. Her in the ring, still not.
No, that's fair.
I will say, of the titles that changed, Sami Zayn's have been fun.
That's a good one.
Sami, when he won, it was one of those things like I really wanted Chad Gable to win. It's kind of like the Liv Morgan thing. I wanted Chad to win then because I felt like that was his time to do it at Mania with the build-up they had and everything like that. But when Sami won, I wasn't mad at it because I'm like, shit, I still fuck with Sami, but Sami's a great worker. He's going to put on good matches. He going to give you some promo and shit like that. Like he'll give you story. He going to give you passion. He going to dive into the character. He can be even if you go keep the title on him for a minute, he would be a good one to do so. So I still wasn't mad at it. It was just one of those like, I wanted my guy, but that's still my guy. Now it's like, it's looking like it's about to be Chad's turn.
You think he gonna get it?
I think he might.
Interesting.
I fucks with Hill. I fucks with Hill, Chad.
That's the first time you fuck with Hill. We shamed you into
No, I was like, I fucks with Hill.
Like he's been a great heel.
I like him.
It's been entertaining for
Very
sure.
entertaining.
For sure.
Every character he's had though up throughout his career, he's really like leaned into and tried to make his own. Even Shorty G and shit like that. That shit was terrible.
He was Shorty G. What was this?
Oh no, that shit was terrible. Vince McMahon thought it was a hoot.
Well, he was a rapper.
No, just the less said about it, the better.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But even still, like he used to wear some big ass shorts and shit like that.
The less said
John
about
Cena?
it, the better.
He was on some John Cena shit.
No. It was just bad.
It was bad.
Okay.
But even then, like he still leaned into it. So now everything that he's done up to this point to me has been to
Come on, dog.
Yeah, bro. No, it was terrible.
That shit was garbage. All I saw was just the attire and it was
it was terrible. But he still was putting on great matches. He's still doing great work. He was still leaning into the character. So now at this point, all of the work that he did leading up to the Sami Zayn, the WrestleMania match, the triple threat match, like everything in between, to me is building him to now it's about that time for you to Sami didn't have the belt for a couple months now. Sami has defended the title a couple times, which is kind of going to lead into my point. But I feel like coming into SummerSlam, there may be a couple changes of the guard.
Okay.
To where, again, kind of going to my point next, it's been a little bit predictable. Like some of the match wins and some of the
Let's
right. That's
that.
what I'm saying. Like it's gonna go into my point, but it's just I've enjoyed Sammy's because of the fact that it's been entertaining with the storylines, even if it's just only been Shorty G or Jack Cable and Bronson Reed, or him taking it from Gunther. Like, I've just enjoyed his run, the way he's had his interests.
To be fair, it's only been like 2 months. Yeah. Like, it has not been that long.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And he's been on TV damn near every week.
No, I'm saying,
wrestling and fighting and doing shit.
No, my point to that is it hasn't been that long, so of course there haven't been that many different storylines yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're still kind of on, like, it.
Like, the fact that you can say he has 2 feuds in 2 months.
That's a lot. Like, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So question for you, and we don't have to stay here long because it's basically the same conversation we just had with Liv, but like, do you think that it's more rewarding now that they went the Sammy route to build
Chad?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because like obviously they plan to make the switch. So like, again, if he wins it at Mania, then he's just like, oh, he's had the great story, and then it's like,
and that's it.
All right. Now what? Now we on the next thing, because like that's how wrestling.
Now we look like Cody Rhodes.
Right.
All right.
But like that is how wrestling fandom comes, though. Like,
I knew it was coming.
You know, like they want to build up to the great moment, and then like they never think about like what's next. It's just like, or like they think about what's next too quickly, and it's just like what's next is, who's the next person.
Out of curiosity, given the fact that you said Cody, is Cody your answer to this question?
No, it can't. Ain't no way in hell is his answer.
To the most
most disappointed.
disappointing.
Disappointing.
We on that, but we still on the favorite part.
Oh no.
I'm trying to figure it out.
No, mine is the women's tag. Bianca and Jade. Like, they gave us what we wanted. Like, how long we've been waiting for that, and then to know that it all is gonna end, and then they are gonna go 1-on-1 and just beat the hell out of each other. Like, that's what to love what they're doing right now. It's like, oh, we see them as a tag, but to just know like it's all gonna end. Somebody's gonna turn on each other, and we're gonna get this epic match.
Why can't you just enjoy the now?
What?
Why you?
I said that I'm enjoying, but I enjoy it because I know what the end is going to be.
Do you though?
What else they gonna do? They got to give us what, man. If they don't give us Jay, like, come on now.
Here you go.
You
Cody
have to give us Jay.
You go Cody.
But you have to give us Jay. They have to fight each other. Like, we were saying this shit when she was AEW, like her and Bianca. Like, you have to give it to us.
Okay. All right. We've been on this for a little while.
Yeah.
Did you answer it?
Sammy.
Okay. I think I had Tim. You were next for wrestling.
Oh, we're not doing the most disappointing.
We already at 40. Okay. We got to keep.
I'll just say Damian Priest is mine.
The most disappointing so far?
He ain't been doing shit.
Cody.
Yeah, that's why.
Damian ain't been doing shit.
I don't think I'll give Cody mine. Most disappointing.
He been fighting. Who? He been fighting. Who?
Yeah, AJ Styles.
Yeah, he just been fighting. He been fighting motherfuckers.
And now AJ Styles had a pastel suit like Mark Henry. He fooled everybody.
Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, he been fighting motherfuckers.
And he been on like all the house shows.
Mm-hmm.
He fight.
See, the house show. Go ahead.
It's your point.
Like, okay, so my point is, I feel like Mania was in April, right?
Yep, April 6th and 7th.
Okay, so I feel like two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, my point is not enough title defenses kind of making matches predictable at the moment.
Okay.
I say at the moment because, again, like you said, it's been 2 months since Mania, but Jake Paul has had 2 title defenses with the U.S. title, and since last year, Logan Paul. I'm sorry, since last year, 2. But he had a world title opportunity at Elimination Chamber. He had a world title match just this past pay-per-view, but he ain't defended the U.S. title. But he got a long ass ring going.
Well, we know what he hit her for, though.
True, but it's one of those okay, you don't see the don't keep Roman Reigns in this with the belt.
He said he wanted to be Roman Reigns.
True,
and also that I feel like is a different that has to be taken out of the equation of the general
right. WWE. But it's going to Damon only had one since Mania.
I feel you, but also it's the U.S. title is doing a different thing right now, which is being exposed on his podcast,
just as a promo marketing.
He's marketing the company.
Yeah, and that's gonna bring attention to whoever takes it from him because it's
right.
I saw Logan Paul with that. Oh, Logan Paul fighting,
but he still ain't defending it. That motherfucker can show up on shows. He can have SmackDown matches. He can do that.
In the wrestling storyline, sure, but he's not a full-time wrestler.
I thought he was.
He come from
he
is, but he ain't.
That's my point. Be there, bro. You there every week. You can wrestle somebody.
He is a
He still ain't even wrestling motherfuckers on the show. He's just there talking.
He's a pay-per-view shorty.
Pretty much.
Damian Priest is going to defend his belt at Clash of the Castle.
and he gonna lose it.
You said who?
Damian Priest.
Okay.
He's only had one title defense. There's been two. There's been several opportunities. There really hasn't been outside of Cody. There hasn't been opportunities.
I got next.
There hasn't really been too many, I would say, title defenses televised. You can say the house show, sure, but a lot of times, everybody not at every house show. The house shows are for the local folks. You want to see it on the television. You want to see the champion. You want to see the belts being defended. You want to see the wins. You want to see the losses. House shows are for the people that's there.
But your point, though, is that you feel that the lack of title defenses makes it easier, makes it more predictable.
Correct.
I would actually push against that and say, because you're not having it as frequently. Like, if it's just a random Monday Night Raw and it's
Damian Priest is defending the title against
you know
Rey
he's not about
Mysterio.
to lose, most likely. Like, you know that already. But if you give them time to tell the different stories and you build it up so it's like, oh, we haven't actually seen this belt defended since then, but we've seen the person. The storyline is still being developed. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And on top of that, there's only been 2 shows since WrestleMania. Both were overseas, and we know that Triple H has been prioritizing smaller cards.
Yeah. Right.
If you have smaller cards, you're not going to be able to have every belt on every show. So it's kind of it's been like, okay, the first show you saw Cody defending it, and was it Damian Priest also on that show as well? So you saw them, and then the next show, which was King of the Ring, you had the King and Queen of the Ring right there. You had Cody again. So he's been at both pay-per-views so far defending his title.
And it seems like he's not going to be on Clash of at least
Clash of Castle.
We don't know what they're doing with AJ, but like it doesn't seem like that's going to be on that show because like the Drew match is going to
be on that. So then you have Intercontinental on King of the Ring, but you didn't have like so. I think with the mid-card belts and the way that that's set up, it's kind of like you don't have to do everything at every show. You can kind of spread things out a little bit, especially if you're giving these wrestlers more time for each match. Meaning you're going to have to spread it out innately anyway.
And I was sorry, just to piggyback on that, it's like because like they're elevating everything else, like the Intercontinental title means something now. So like it has to have time to build its story. It has to have its opportunity to shine. And again, like to her point, like you only got 5 matches on the card. You only got so many spots. And like the women's tag team, they're trying to elevate that title. So you got to have a storyline for that. You got to make it mean something. You got to give it time on the pay-per-view. Both of the women's championships. Apparently they're going to introduce a women's mid-card belt. Like they're trying to do all these things that makes everything mean something. It's like you're not going to be able to give top prestige to everything at all times. It's like sometimes this story got to be on the back burner. Like that was what I said about the bloodline all the time. It's like people just want go. It's like sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's running, sometimes it's like really, metal to the metal. We pushing the story right now. Sometimes it got chill, let it build, like in the background, do some things, experiment a little bit, and then like it's time for back in the spotlight. It's a fully formed thing. It's not just we jumping from this thing to this thing to this thing just so we can have a title defense on every single pay-per-view.
And real quick with that too. Sorry,
we real quick.
Right, I was real quick. My point in a minute.
Actually, you go ahead.
I understand what both of you guys are saying. Like you got to let it cook. You got to let it build, things like that. But at the same time, what I'm also stating is that having surprise title defenses will help build characters too. If you have out of nowhere on SmackDown, hey, you got LA Knight going for the Intercontinental Championship, or Braun Breaker.
Predictable for what?
Yeah, that's super predictable.
I'm stating that you are also building stars too. You're showcasing the title, but building them at the same time because you're giving them opportunities to showcase. Even if it's going to lose, you're still showing the title. You're still showing they're at that level. They're at that bar. They're at that point. Braun Breaker, for example, if he had if he turned around two weeks from now or after Clash of the Castle, a week afterwards, hey, Braun Breaker's going for the World Heavyweight title. At this point right now, where they're building him, you'd be like, he might actually have a shot.
So here's my counter to that, because it was the point I was going to make. So I'm actually going to let you go first. By not having every match have to be a title match, you're also allowing for matches between non-title holders to take place where they can continue. I don't think you need to be in the title picture in order to be elevated and seen as somebody in the title picture if you're having good feuds and rivalries to build yourself. So in addition to not having the title always shown, you got to have the other storylines to show, like, here are the next people coming up for the belt.
Right, and I'm
just
cool
spent a whole month like with the King of the Ring tournament,
right?
Like,
and that was worth
that
it.
was something that was for like a reason. Like, it doesn't have to be. The reason doesn't always have to be like what title are they going for. It's like okay, maybe it's qualifying matches for Money in Play. Maybe it's qualifying matches for King of the Ring. Maybe it's I don't fucking know. But you know, like there are other things going on that like I don't think the titles have to be the primary focus of everything.
Or the only thing that can elevate or push a story.
That's not even my thing with it. It's also you have these. I forgot that fast. It's damn. I forgot it because I'm definitely. What the fuck?
While you're thinking of that, like, shit. No, I didn't call it.
Can you got anything to say?
Oh no.
All right, cool. We can keep it moving. And I think that was a pretty good conversation.
Yeah.
Disagree, but I get what you're saying, Kim.
So right now, if you could, in the wrestling community, I know he's gonna get it so. But in the wrestling community, like everybody, dream matches. What are some of your current dream matches right now with current people that are there? Do you guys have any dream matches?
I don't know if it's necessarily a dream match, but I do still want to see Rock Ramen.
Okay. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
That would be a dream match. I think that would.
Bianca and Jay's probably
Bianca and Jay for sure.
Who do I want to see that?
Any cross promotions?
No.
I can't see. I don't watch enough of the other promotions to be like, I need this. But like, I'm interested in seeing some things that have been built up finally coming into fruition. Like, let me see the CM Punk Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily a dream. Like, we know we're getting there. Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Like, I want to see the rivalries that were teased when that man came. Was it November?
Yep.
When he got here, we saw him only in the Royal Rumble because he got hurt. And it's like, there are many of these I still want to see.
He's always hurt.
Shit, I want to see Punk versus Ken. Like, that's
beat CM Punk ass. Now what?
My vision is terrible. That's a long comment.
I sure don't know.
Hey, the way y'all seated and set up, this will be a dope ass Funko Pop set.
Hey,
I don't know how to take that.
They hands be all big.
But it'd be like
we can do that though.
If it was a Funko Pop set.
Oh yeah, that would be dope.
Just be, hey, this is Tech Foul.
I appreciate it, brother. I know they ain't no diss. I know they ain't no diss.
Eric said, no, I get what you mean.
Ken versus hell yeah, let's book it. Fuck them.
What? Wait, what?
Huh? He said me versus CM Punk.
What would be your finishing move?
What did you think is it?
I don't know I didn't know the word.
What would be my friend? I could probably pick him up.
You do a leg drop?
I ain't a Hulk Hogan, nigga. Fuck.
World's Strongest Slam.
Hey, it wouldn't. I always love the super kick, so it wouldn't be that.
You gonna pick that motherfucker up and kick somebody?
Pick what up?
That damn thing right there.
What are you pointing?
What are you talking about?
It's on his leg, fam?
Yes. You see that motherfucker? He gonna pick that bitch up and kick some goddamn
that wasn't even a good one, fam.
That motherfucker is huge.
You had way better big jokes than that. That was garbage.
Not your best work.
Yeah, not
ain't nobody you try to go ahead and two cents it, goddammit.
Hey, can we get the one
between me and him and shit?
I think Deuce really got that.
Oh no, that's where I want.
Yeah, go ahead and applaud. Yeah, go ahead and take that.
There we go, nigga. Weak ass jokes. Leave the jokes to me. To a real comedian, nigga. But yeah, I genuinely hate CM Punk. It ain't. We ain't fighting fair. So I'm gonna bring in somebody.
He said I genuinely hate that.
we go jump this nigga. It's all chairs. It's all street fight. Book it.
So if
street fight, everything but it kicks your seat, motherfucker. I'm picking up everything, fucking him up.
Oh boy!
If Paul Pierce and CM Punk walked into this room right now, which one are you attacking first?
Oh shit!
They whooping his ass. They stomping his ass.
Can we bleep this? I'm going to the trunk on them, bro. Think it's sweet. They ain't gonna jump me, but no, fuck both of them. But I forgot what else was up.
You got the hate took over.
Dream match.
Yeah, they had dream matches.
Do you have one? Cross promotion?
Cross promotion. Yeah. MJF and at first it was MJF and Seth Rollins.
Right.
Yeah. MJF and Seth Rollins would be super dope. No, not Cody. Kenny, or I like Kenny Omega and Cody. That'd be dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask y'all, and we ain't gotta take too much time up on this, but what do y'all think the places of squash matches are at this point in the wrestling life cycle? And I ask this because they've been telling the story with Braun Breaker. He's been having squash matches, which I've been like, I don't want to see that. Like, don't give me this. We get the Ricochet match,
that was a good
where
match.
he's actually able to put on a match in which we know he can wrestle because we watched him in NXT do it all the time. He finally had a good match, and I was like, to me, beating Ricochet is more meaningful than the last 4 however many squash matches that he had. So I was like, alone in itself, I don't like squash matches, but then I started thinking about it, and I was like, but it's been telling a story because he's been he's been on a rampage.
Yeah.
Like he's pissed off that you're putting him in squash matches.
Right. He's like, y'all disrespecting me. So it made me think like, like they found a way to kind of like
make it matter.
Because when it was initially happening, I'm like, I've never been super high on squash matches.
Yeah, me neither.
And they used to be a lot more frequent than what they are now. Like
for powerhouses mainly though.
Right. Like they come in the game and it's like, first 5 matches against people you never heard of.
Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar.
Well, I think that squash matches serve a purpose, which is a guy with limited experience. Like you just want him to come in, get his shit off, build kind of a following, and then like once he starts getting in with real wrestlers, like then he kind of like once he's able to learn like how to sell and how to do all these things that makes an actual back and forth wrestling match, like you can kind of ease him in while you still are capitalizing on the fact that, damn, I just watched Goldberg run through like 20 motherfuckers, like just spearing them and do it. Can he do that against like
oh
like,
my God, that's another guy.
He
was a horrible.
He probably
wrestler,
hates you too.
bro.
But he was so entertaining, man.
Wrestler.
He had the charisma.
Fuck, he was horrible, dog.
Man, listen, I was a WCW kid. You couldn't tell me nothing about Goldberg back then.
I mean, to your squash match point, they did that with Jade. They started her out with nobodies, and then eventually moved over to Chelsea Green. So then she started wrestling wrestler.
Yeah.
And she caught her like twice.
From what I understand is that like they basically just gave Jade squash matches for the entirety of her AEW run.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Like that, how her becoming the champion, and like her literally like everything was squash matches. No matches were like longer than maybe 7 minutes of that. So all her matches was between 5 to 7 minutes or less. 7 move sets.
Like, I think that you can't like make it a continuous thing, but I do think it still serves this purpose, which is just showcasing the wrestler that you want to.
And there has to be a story attached to it.
But see, in AEW, it made sense because it showed like, okay, all of these women here, like she is, of course, way better than absolutely everybody you have on your roster. There's no story. It's just, it was the Goldberg effect. Remember when Goldberg went on this streak? That's literally what Jade did in AEW. It was just like, whoever comes in front of her, she's going to beat them.
And like I said, most of the time it's for powerhouses. Like it's literally, I don't remember seeing Ricochet in a fucking squash match. Like usually it's for somebody that's like, hey, we need to show that you strong as shit. So we're gonna have 2 people, you gonna stack them up, you go power bomb them together, shit like that. Like they're usually big motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's my point about showcasing.
Yeah, I feel more times than not, it's going to be more effective if you show me you can go.
Right.
Just show me. Some people can't. So you have to, like Eric was saying, you got to bring them along. But like more times than not, I am not a fan of squash matches. That's why I had to acknowledge Braun Breaker, because I was like,
his time is coming though.
This is interesting. Like you hooked me in there.
The way
he's
he
a
did
freak
that fucking Frankensteiner, where he hopped up on the rope,
posed real quick,
and then snatched him with his ankles.
He's a freak.
The way he run the ropes,
dude, he be floating. I'm like, God damn, bro, and he big as fuck, dog. Like. Come on, dog. You gotta relax.
Crazy.
You gotta calm down.
He cold.
And he got that Steiner in him, so you know
he
got a couple screws, bro. Like, why are you barking?
Big bad booty, daddy.
This is almost as bad as you saying. What did he say earlier to Laffy Taffy?
Oh, take that booty meat.
Take that booty meat. Before we move off of wrestling, I see Sly in the comments had a couple of dream matches for himself. He had Rock and Roman agreeing with us, and then he had Jay versus Jake Paul.
You mean Logan?
I think so. Probably. The Paul brother that's in
Uso?
there. Is that because, I'm assuming that's because you think you want Jay to get that title. That's what I'm assuming. I feel like LA Knight's going to be the one to take it off of him.
Yeah, LA Knight. They got to do something with LA Knight because he kind of.
All right. Let's get into some quick hits here to wrap this up.
Hit it and quit it.
Oh, man. So the biggest sports story this past week so far has been around Caitlin Clark.
This feels like, was it the monkey paw curl, where it's like you ask for something and then you get it and you be like,
this isn't exactly what I wanted. And it's been the leading story because I'm blanking on her name. Kennedy Carter.
Kennedy Carter.
I thought it was Kennedy.
Oh, it's CH.
I think it's pronounced.
It's Kennedy. It's still Kennedy though, which is
yeah. But she I love our people. She pushed Caitlin Clark, blindsided her, kind of like
give her a little hip
shoulder checked her when Caitlin was waiting for the ball.
She did some floppage though.
Caitlin. Okay, let me not jump the shark here. Mm-hmm. So the conversation has been around the foul and how hard it was, and it was led to a whole bunch of discourse about the WNBA and how Caitlin Clark's not being treated right, and how there's jealousy, and just so many other things besides the actual game or basketball has been the topic of conversation when it comes to the W.
Yes.
I say all of this to say. It's all publicity, good publicity. Because for years we've been saying, "Hey, man, we should get more attention. They should be talked about more." Blah 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 blah. Now they got a segment where they leading off first take. It's not about basketball, but it's about the W.
Right.
Is all publicity good publicity?
In this moment, yes.
I'll say yes.
I think in the long run it will be, but this is annoying as fuck.
I think that's a great answer.
It's very annoying, absolutely.
But it's a lot of eyes still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more eyes than it's been.
Right. And to be fair, like, this is how the NBA is covered. So
it's
not even there is a lot of sexism involved, but like the way that they're being covered isn't necessarily like, oh well, we'll pay attention to women's basketball, but only the soap opera aspects of it. It's like, no, that's what they pay attention to in the NBA too.
Yeah, that is fair.
But do you think, like the Caitlin Clark story, right? Do you think that because of like she's going through like trial and tribulation, or she's going to have like her redemption and it's going to be like this huge payoff? Do you think that
before Triple H write it?
Hey, I'm just saying, like that's damn near like what's going on, because
WWE,
like she's on a horrible team, like of course because she was the number one pick, of course she's going to be on a horrible team.
Year before that,
So it's just like, I don't know.
Here's the wild part about them being. I was thinking about this earlier. If they stay as bad as they've been, like they was last year and this year, next year they can probably get Paige buckets.
Jesus, that's my girl.
They would have Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Paige Buchers on one squad. Paige. That would be crazy.
That's a good thing.
But they coach can't coach a damn though.
Hey, whoever it is, they got to be there next year.
She definitely out of there, fam.
But with. I think somebody put it in the chat and I was going to reply, but I think I deleted it. People don't mind physicality.
It's all
blood sports have been around forever.
But when women do it,
but it's because it's women.
When women do
they
it,
they don't want their women
but it's
to
always
be
been physical. If
they don't care,
if y'all was watching the W, you would know that it's always been physical. Yes. This ain't nothing new. What's happened to Caitlin Clark? They do this.
It's actually toned down.
Yeah.
Tarasi used to fuck up Kelsey.
It was like the W was way more physical than the NBA. It's always been like that. If y'all wasn't just starting to watch now, then you would fucking know.
And
like this ain't nothing new.
When new eyes come,
there's always opinions.
You're going to have to rehash some old conversations, and they have to understand the flow of things. So like. To Eric, I think Eric summed it up perfectly. Like in the long run, it's good for the W. It's showing the interest in the sport. But right now, it is annoying.
Yeah, it's mad. It's super annoying.
In a large part because
she was fighting.
It's not just basketball. And basketball isn't even just basketball and NBA, because we know what helped expand the league, which was Magic versus Larry. It was race involved in that. There is race involved with Caitlin Clark. And you can race in America. That's going to be a big topic. It's always going to be there.
Always.
And that's an aspect of it. You have the actual sexism aspect of it, because it's women performing in sports and people act like women should always behave a certain way. When they don't, then it's a problem. There are so many different layers, and I think a lot of the conversation, sexual orientation, a lot of the conversation has lacked nuance or lacked people understanding that more than one thing can be true at the same time. Yes, there can be some players jealous of Caitlin Clark. Yes, there can be some players who are grateful that she's, bringing the spotlight onto the game so they can make more back. Yes, it can be true that some people won't like Caitlin Clark just because she's white. I've seen it on social media, and there are some people who who
only like Caitlin Clark
because she's white.
Exactly. So it's a lot of nuance in it. Overall, hearing the W talked about is cool. There are some things where I'm like, we've made it, because people are being annoying like they are with the NBA. So
people do not know what the fuck they're talking about.
Shell's in the comments pointing out they gave Candace Parker hell, and that's been floating
around. And she
won
MVP for her rookie year.
But she also got into a fight with what was that, Planette Pearson in Detroit at the Palace. That motherfucker known for some scraps, bro. But Her rookie year, she was really swinging. Like
she was really
Angel
busting
Reese
ass.
just
too.
got knocked down at the free throw line like a week and a half ago.
I think all of it is annoying, but the most annoying part of it for me so far has been like the notion that they need to be grateful for Caitlin Clark and treat her differently,
Yeah, that's nuts.
like as opponents. It's like
that's nuts.
What like? What are you talking about? Like that would be like like when LeBron came in. It's like, oh, this is the next Jordan, so King
ice.
It's all right. Let him get his shit off. That's what we're here to watch. It's like no, you got to earn the respect in the league, and I bet you Caitlin Clark will because she's a great basketball player.
She's got to get stronger.
Like, think about the fact that these are women who this is their livelihood.
Yeah,
they've been in the W for years at this point. They've been putting in the blood, sweat, and tears to build this league to a point where she can kind of take it to a next level.
Yeah, exactly.
It's respectful.
But like all they're hearing is, oh, Caitlin Clark, she the greatest women's basketball player of all time. Caitlin Clark gonna come in and dominate. Caitlin Clark gonna do this. Caitlin Clark gonna do that. These women are competitors.
Yeah.
And like all they're hearing is fresh meat. And so like they're gonna make it a point to play as hard as possible against her to prove to other people like, no, this shit ain't sweet. No,
she ain't
this ain't college anymore. It's going to be difficult.
You
and she's gonna have to figure it out. And I think that that's fine because that's the expectation that we've had for male basketball players forever.
Or another comparison, if they did said that about Reggie Bush. Oh, don't hit him so hard. Reggie been like one of the best.
That's
greatest,
the highlight.
Like he got smoked, boy. Smoked. That's one of his highlights too. Like no, bro. Like you're playing at the highest level.
Competition is there.
The league is full of everybody who is just as cold. May not be as cold as you breaking college records for the most points and shit, but everybody was cold in their own right. You're going against a league that cut first round picks because they so cold. Like they're not gonna be nice to you. Come in and prove why all that shit that they're giving you. Yeah, you may not want that attention, but guess what? You earned it.
And then one more
played
thing.
For it.
It's like everyone in the W is playing for the love of the game. They're obviously not playing for the money because they're not really getting paid nothing. And that's real talk. Like they're all competitors. Like they want, like this is what they want.
You ain't wrong. So shout out to the W.
Yeah, shout out.
It's been some good games though.
Yeah.
Commissioner's Cup. That Chicago versus Indiana was a really good game.
I've been seeing some people be like, I didn't know who Alyssa Thomas was, but she cold. Like that's
Thomas been cold.
Like that's the but like that's the exposure. Like they tuned into that game to watch Caitlin, and then they saw Connecticut. Like, who's DJ Day Carrington? Who's DeWanna Bonner? Like they cold. Like
once they start getting in a gambling bag, once they start betting heavy,
boy,
it's gonna get ugly.
It just helps. It helps with the names.
Yeah.
I do want to say shout out to Asia Wilson, by the way. She is averaging dang near 27 points and 13 rebounds a game.
She ridiculously cold. Like watching her hoop is like
Enrique's right behind her, like 26, right? Ain't she?
I know she's top.
She was leading the league for a minute.
Enrique is right behind her. Yeah, because she was leading the league until I think recently, like a few weeks ago.
She had like a 3 for 20 something.
Enrique's in first right now, 26.6.
414.
And Asia's at 26.5.
414. She be cooking for him.
My aces need.
She been doing that
the
too.
Point guard back because
Chelsea Gray needs to heal up soon.
Please.
Heal up.
What soon. They already lost twice already, and they didn't lose 2. What? How many did? I don't remember. But yeah,
a player that got on my watch list from me paying more attention to the games this year as well. De'Arca Hambry.
Oh yeah, Hambry.
But this is also a breakout year for her too. She been cooking.
Yeah. All right. Well, some more cooking that's been done in essence at the bank. The Vikings and all-pro wide receiver Justin Jefferson agreed to a new deal that resets the wide receiver market and made Justin Jefferson the NFL's highest paid non-quarterback. 4-year extension worth $140 million, $35 million per year, with $110 million guaranteed.
Had to do it.
Who is the next wide receiver to reset the market?
Before I answer that, the fact that resetting the market for a non-quarterback is Jordan Poole money speaks to
they're getting there slowly.
The despair.
They're getting there slowly.
Dwayne said, "My team sucks, but Hamby been on it."
Boy,
are you a Sparks fan too?
Yeah, bro. You talking me?
No,
he's talking about
Oh, I was like, yeah. I'm sorry.
I mean, I know you are. You're the 2 in the 1.
Shout out to Blink too.
I would have said Jamar Chase.
That's
He would have been my pick because everybody else is kind of like.
What about CD?
I don't think CD gonna get more than
no.
I think he gonna look at what Justin got and be like,
I need that.
I need that.
You know, you can get AJ Brown money. That's still like 86.
He's gonna come a little bit lower.
You can get 78. Like that's still a lot of fucking money.
Mm-hmm. No. But see, that's a Dallas thing though. They would pay him that.
Dallas got to pay Dak, him, and Michael Parsons.
They ain't gonna be able to pay all 3. I don't think.
Yeah.
Dak is lowest on that totem pole for me. By the way, of those 3, Dak is the lowest.
He's a quarterback.
Quarterback is
I was like, he's a quarterback. He's gonna get paid.
Bro. He ain't gonna get $60 million.
Don't say it like that, trash.
I didn't say that. I said of those 3, you have a generational talent on defensive side of the ball.
I don't mean that.
You looking at you. I get where you're looking at it like that because, like, yes, I don't know if I'll say generational, but like talent wise.
Parsons is probably
can't miss. And edge rushers are harder are another position of like scarcity,
and they get paid a lot too.
A having a quarterback and not having a quarterback is the difference between like being a team and not being a team.
Absolutely.
So like the quarterback is always going to be number 1 priority.
But how I don't give a fuck what Dallas do, by the way. I want y'all to be. You know what? Pay Dak $60 goddamn million. Lose Michael Parsons and shit. Don't max his ass out. Then give CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown money. AJ Brown money. Y'all ain't got all of that.
AJ Brown is making about $32 million a year.
So
there were 5 different wide receiver contracts signed this offseason that are notable. This was on NFL Live or NFL Today earlier. You had Devonta Smith, who had a $25 million per year average value. You got Jalen Waddle, who had 28.3.
He just signed that last week, I think.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, who got $30 million annually. You got AJ Brown with 32 annually. Now you have Justin Jefferson with $35 million annually. Now, I think that the answer to the initial question, I think that is Jamar Chase. I think that's the wide receiver that does reset the market. Mm-hmm. And really quick, as for Dallas, I think the order of priority would probably be Dak, Parsons, CD.
Yeah. They'll let go 88 again. Huh?
Yeah, I think so.
88 cursed over there.
It's just the reality of it is just like he's a great wide receiver, but it's easier to find a good wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So that's tough
because you don't have to have a number 1 to win the Super Bowl shot, but you have to have a Mahomes. You have to have a Mahomes.
You have to have a good quarterback. You saw Brock Purdy. Like they ain't gonna do all that.
Right? He had weapons.
Exactly.
So you gotta if the quarterback ain't gonna be good, then you gotta make sure the skill positions are really like. But yeah, shout out to Justin Jefferson for getting that. That's I will not hate on that young man. Like that is a good wide receiver over there in Minnesota.
$35 million a year.
$35 million.
The Packers are playing like collectively $12 million to their rare receivers this year.
Period.
But they finna give Jordan probably around like 50.
Oh,
by the end of the summer.
He gonna cash out.
He
gonna cash.
They think he gonna reset the market or he will be close to that.
And I won't be mad at it.
We got like $28 million in cap right now. Just because they just cut Devondre Campbell. He was a post June 1.
Yeah, it's gonna be gone when it.
Yeah, that's why they saving it. They ain't spent shit. They really haven't spent too much.
I think it was Bukowski, but like somebody on Packers Twitter was saying like they got love over CJ Stroud like long term. Where are y'all at with that?
Long term?
That's tough.
What happened?
I think it's so many factors that go into it.
Like who you got? Who would you?
I have a
just off of pure talent.
Just like if you were starting a franchise with a quarterback today, which one are you selecting?
Strauss.
You got the first pick.
I think I'm gonna go with
2.
Love.
Ooh.
Let me look this up.
I haven't watched enough of Love. I'll say that.
Shit, you gonna watch enough of them this year? Damn.
Oh, that's a good question, Shells.
Yeah. That's why I didn't hear what you said. I was reading his question.
Are wide receivers about to be treated like running backs?
No, I think everything is cycles. Like the fact that Justin Jefferson's got $35 million, he's the highest paid non-quarterback. Like, nah, wide receivers are too important to a quarterback. I think for them to go the way of the running back, and also running backs have
a shorter shelf life.
And a lot of them are also involved in the passing game as well. So I don't think wide receivers go that route. It might be a summer where you see a bunch of them on the market. Like we just have a summer this past year with safeties where it's like
But I feel like the last couple of drafts have been really wide
Loaded.
receiver
They
heavy.
have.
Like I feel like the talent pool of wide receivers is getting deeper.
And maybe that's where it's
really
coming
is.
from.
Like from a scarcity standpoint, like they may not be as important because it's like
It's so many of them.
It's more of them coming in the draft every year. We just pick one of these dudes and then
So unless they
go
go
quarterback.
If they have a couple down years on wide receiver, then like yeah. I mean draft wise, then you might see some more contracts being doled out. But cheap labor is always going to win, period, regardless of position in the NFL. So.
And that's the thing about running backs is that I don't think that running backs have gotten any less skill, any less, like athletic over the last 20 years. It's just it's been so many goddamn many of them. It's like, hey, well, like why would I pay Clinton Portis $30 million a year when
I can get
Jamal Charles,
Wilson Gagey gonna be in the show. You know what I mean? Like it's just it always keep coming.
Dwayne said that he would take Stroud. Love is good.
I would take Stroud.
But to do what Stroud did as a rookie is special. It is true, but that's opportunity as well. Like, so you're looking at first year as a rookie. Love didn't have an opportunity to start his first year as a rookie, which for all indications was a good thing.
Yeah.
Because he needed the time. So really, I think it's more fair to go just first year by first year because there's starting, like their time as starting quarterbacks is going to be in alignment going forward. So that's going to be an interesting battle to keep an eye on. And the two teams play each other this year in Lambeau.
That's going to be fun.
So that's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a fun game.
Shootout.
Speaking of not wide receivers, running backs, Christian McCaffrey, he also reset the running back. He reset the running back market. He signed a 2-year extension with the 49ers, averaging $19 million a year.
You pay him whatever you want.
CMC, but now
like for real, you pay that guy.
They've been talking about getting rid of Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuels have been the two hottest topic wide receivers for 49ers, and a lot of talk has been this is going to be the last year with the Niners having both of them because more than likely Ayuk is going to get traded because he's been begging for an extension and they're not really sound like they're trying to give him that money. And Deebo has money, but they're like, okay, well, if he already got his contract, he'd probably be a little more valuable in the trade market if we do give Ayuk the money because we can't have Ayuk money on top of Purdy money on top of Kittle money on top of CMC money.
Like you gotta
and the defenders that you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
they have a great
team. So those two have been on the chopping block. Well, I won't even say the trading block because I'm sure teams probably try to get them at the draft.
It's the rumor mill.
But they've been in conversation a lot about leaving. This is going to be the last year together.
All the scuttlebutt. NFL and NFL Films have selected the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
To serve as this year's team on Hard Knocks. This is the first time the Chicago Bears have ever been on Hard Knocks, and this is the first episode will be dropping on August 6th. Ken, how excited are you to see your team on Hard Knocks? Or are you worried about distractions?
I'm not necessarily worried about distractions at all. I'm actually excited because I'm excited about this team. Like people are going to hate regardless because it's the Bears. And we haven't done shit for anybody to really like. See, that's why I didn't want to talk about it because I already know Tim and Eric.
You said, hey, no. Let him finish.
Yeah, like regardless, like you just hated it before I even said anything.
Say your point.
But it's just like, okay, it's because it's the Bears. Everybody's like, the Bears. Why the fuck? Like, why the fuck would we want to watch the Bears?
Dwayne throwing tomatoes in the comments.
Yeah, fuck. Hey, you my nigga, but fuck you. But every Hard Knocks, like when the Lions were on the Hard Knocks, it draws you, huh? For some reason, I fell in love with that team. And every Arizona, for some reason, I was like, damn, like I was intrigued about that team. Hard Knocks does something that makes you
romanticize
it. Yeah, like for real. Like you romanticize like about a team. So not necessarily like about the team, but we got Caleb Williams. He's a number 1 pick. Like we have arguably the best receiving core like in the NFL right now.
I get you that.
And it's just like the exposure. Like that's why I'm not really like worried about like all the publicity or all the exposure and think that it's going to be a distraction. I think it's only going to be a win because now we have a young team and rebuilding. But now this is the time that everybody can see. You know, I'm not saying that we're going to come out and just kill it. Of course, like it's going to.
You said 11 wins this year.
Yeah, and that's not kill. That's doable. 11 wins.
11 wins is killing the league, fam.
We're going to get 11.
That means you only got 6 L's.
So
I see that.
All right. Let me because we
yeah, because y'all I had all my shit right there. I couldn't say what I really wanted to say.
Ain't nobody stop you.
No, I couldn't get my shit off.
She slapped us.
I couldn't get my shit off. So
okay, well, let me flip the question then, because my question to the two of you is, with it being a divisional rival, because Packer fans are over here on this side, it's the Bears fan over there with Ken. Are y'all, because it's someone in the division, does that increase or decrease your level of interest in it yourself? Because we did see the Lions 2 years ago, and now we have the Bears.
Either way, I'm not interested in watching it. So
you're not the targeted audience for this question. Tim?
I don't give a fuck about the Bears. I enjoyed the Lions because they were lovable losers. They didn't win shit. You know, it was like, oh, damn, they actually might do some shit. I don't give a fuck about the Bears. I'll watch because I get to see that behind-the-scenes clownery that y'all got going on.
But why do we got to be all of that?
Hey, listen,
like it's a whole new regime.
Because it's been that.
So
it's been that, but this is the time for us to show. Yeah, exactly. But it's a whole new. I didn't mind the Lions. Everything is fucking new. Like, this is our chance to be like, okay, this is the rebirth of the fucking Bears. I'm not saying that we're going to be the best fucking team.
11 wins, my boy. You up there.
Oh. So, like, earlier you asked me, like, why people don't like Cat. And, like, I think there are, like,
similarities.
It's unfortunate, but, like, some of the way that he acts, like, when people see him in clips or, like, they see him on, like, just, like, he's very animated in a way that isn't traditionally masculine. If that's the way to put it, right?
That's very polite, very Bridgerton-like.
That's kind of like the same vibe that I've gotten.
The respectful gentleman way to say that.
That's kind of the same vibe that I've gotten from Caleb Williams, and like that's kind of like the reputation that he has kind of garnered online. Like people like
that's a great comparison. Now that I think about
people treat him that way.
So like that's a great comparison.
I don't know if shining a light on that is necessarily going to make that better for that part of his reputation.
Yeah. Or it's going to get him new fans. Yeah, it's going to be one
it could be. But I mean, like the football.
But I mean, the people who don't like him already ain't going to like him more probably because they made their mind up because it's for the reasons that you mentioned. Correct. Because he doesn't act the way that they feel.
But all that matters is what he does on the field.
And I would just say
that's all that should matter. Like this man, he got painted nails. All right, he wears lip gloss. Who cares?
Like, who cares? And I'll just say, there ain't no show gonna make me fuck with the Bears. You know,
so for me, I actually enjoy being able to take. I love Hard Knocks, but I like being able to take a peek behind the curtain of a divisional rival. Like that's interesting to me because it's like I'm gonna see y'all twice a year anyway. So like, let me kind of start looking about what we might see when the season unfolds. I'm actually very excited to see it. I think that this group of Chicago Bears, this probably is the most talented team I've had in some years now.
Yeah. Recent memory.
It's been some years. Like this Bears team on paper should be good. It should be 3 teams really in the running.
Well, number 1 in the division.
I was going to say
Dwayne, not you,
not the Vikings. I'm sorry, not the Vikings, but Lions are the favorites and they deserve to be that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think you have the Packers underneath that, and then you have the Bears. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it out of shade of Packers Bears.
No, I know that. Yeah,
Packers
that's
proved last year with being in the wild card, and you expect them now to build upon that. So
that's real.
All right.
To like literally actually answer a question, like I'll never have a problem with like the players on the teams like in our division rivalry, and like seeing them behind the scenes, like that's more of like the human story as opposed to like. You know, it's talking shit amongst fans that makes like the division rivalries fun. Like I don't really I don't have any animosity towards.
Like if it was the Vikings, I'd love it.
Dwayne said it's not because I hate the Bears, but damn, I don't want to be interested in the Bears more than I am now because of the show.
See, that's what I'm saying. It just makes people just tune in more. Like, oh, fuck, I never watch the Bears get Bears on. I'm gonna check them. Tune in.
Speaking of TV, the new miniseries Clipped debuted today on Hulu. The first 2 episodes dropped.
Oh man!
Have y'all watched? Are you going to watch? And for those who are like, "What is Clipped?" That is based on the Donald Sterling situation with the Clippers, with the racism and him not wanting black people at the games, and then having to sell the team.
Niggas to my game.
So it's all about Donald Sterling and that whole situation. And oh my God, did you watch?
I've seen the first like 15 minutes.
I watched both episodes.
I didn't watch it yet. I'm fucking around.
I had started it.
It's trash.
Oh, it is
trash. Not.
I was like, damn.
Trash in a great
way.
Okay.
Like
not trash like bad. Trash like this is bad.
I was just like, Lawrence Fishburne did it.
Like literally the first 15. Because I looked at it, I pressed pause. I'm like, this is only. It was like
48 minutes.
I said 15 minutes, but it was like 13:58 into the damn show.
Oh,
I'm like,
cracking like that.
I'm like, bro, it's been bullshit. Like, damn, shut him up. What the fuck? What the hell? Why is he like this?
So
why is he like this? Why he look like this?
Do,
like, it was a lot going on.
Do we know how many episodes it is?
6 episodes.
Oh, it's only 6. Okay.
And the first 2 came out already, and then we'll have to wait every week for the next 4 to roll
Okay.
up.
Cool.
Depending on how the conversation goes, like I'll either wait until it's done so I can watch everything at the same time. But if people talk about it, then I might hit.
Listen, Lil Murda is Chris Paul.
He had me rolling. I'm like, dog.
Murder.
You didn't get to
I'll
it yet.
smile when I win.
Listen, y'all. Episode 2, when y'all, I don't care what time it is. When y'all watch episode 2 of Clip, I need y'all to text me when they play the Warriors. Because when y'all see the niggas they got playing the Warriors.
It's like that.
When y'all see the niggas they got playing the Warriors.
I almost sent you a picture of Blake Griffin earlier. They're like, this nigga look like Trevor.
He do.
He look like Hillary Banks.
Oh,
I was like, they was like, yeah, that's Blake. I was like, Blake? Ain't no way, boy.
All the Clippers the same height.
DeAndre Jordan the same height as Chris Paul.
Who the same height as JJ Redick? Who the same
funny.
height?
Oh boy! The way that they have JJ Redick on that motherfucker, like I said, it was just shit. He's white. I don't want his ass. What the fuck?
Which was real.
Which is wild. I was like, God.
Listen, Doc Rivers said we need to get JJ Redick on this team. Donald Sterling said, all right, cool, whatever. They called Doc and said the deal is off
because he didn't know who he was.
Donald did not know that JJ was white. And Doc Rivers said, what the F? Like,
what the fuck that got to do with anything?
So they said, I'm not doing it.
White?
Doc Rivers said,
I've never heard that.
Doc said, I will quit. Then they called back a couple hours later. In real time, in real life, it was a couple hours. In the show, it was
like 2 seconds.
It was immediately. Then they're like, okay, we got JJ Redick. But like Donald Sterling thought that was going to be a black
JJ was a key piece.
It turned out to be.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah, Clips. Listen, if y'all like trashy,
I'm definitely watching.
But also historical.
Yeah,
but
I'm
like,
definitely watching.
It's in the same vein.
Who was that?
That's Blake Griffin.
Stop it, man.
Wait, why he look like Borat?
Duh, he looks like so many people that's not Blake Griffin. I was like, who the
I guess
fuck?
there are only so many light-skinned redhead dudes. So,
but listen, y'all, if y'all enjoy like Clips, I would definitely recommend
Hulu,
y'all.
right?
Hulu,
yeah.
Isn't? Oh, I was saying it's in the same vein of like the OJ True Crime.
Yes, yeah, it's an FX show.
Hey,
so
but
yeah.
that was good. The OJ True Crime was fire.
Cracking.
That shit was fire.
David
dog.
Schwimmer.
I go back and watch that every so often, like every few months.
Cuba
Hey,
Juice.
That shit was fire.
Cuba
was doing his thing, fam. Hey, if I never knew that nigga could act, I was like, he acted his ass off for this.
That's a fact. So, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will actually not be facing off on July 20th. Tyson had a recent ulcer flare-up, so they're gonna need some time.
Yeah, maybe a 60-year-old shouldn't be boxing.
Exactly, nigga. Oh, fam, like, what the fuck? Next is gonna be like his gate fucked up or something.
Right, they got gout.
They got gout or something. Like, what the fuck?
So, if you were looking forward to that on July 20th, which I was, you're gonna have to wait. We don't know how long, but you're gonna have to wait. Shell said, "Please cancel that fight." I am sorry, but the curiosity, I just have to see.
I do want to see. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm curious to see how. I gotta see how. Oh, you said you're trying to go? Oh, what? Damn.
You see they moving it to
would have been front
AT&T.
row like Frank Lucas.
And what?
He
Like, oh, nigga, I see dude. Look at dude, y'all. Mika on this shit.
Big ass hat and shit.
Sweat this shit.
A couple more quick things to wrap up here. Anthony Edwards and Cameron apparently got some beef.
That shit.
I don't know if y'all saw, but the latest AE1 Anthony Edwards shoe in his commercial, they had receipts, people talking trash, and one of those receipts pulled was from Cameron. They read the receipt on the commercial, and Anthony Edwards' response to the commercial was F buddy.
What did he say fuck me for?
And then Cameron came back and had a freestyle on his show.
Whole ass freestyle.
Which it wasn't the whole freestyle was like 3 minutes.
He be spitting.
The Anthony Edwards part was like a minute and a half. And he had some bars because Cameron got some bars.
Yeah, niggas forget Cam be spitting.
Let me be clear when I talk about how Cameron's rapping has always been one of those ones for me where it's like, it's okay.
I'm a Dipset nigga, so I love that shit. Jim Jones, J.R. Ryder.
I keep the computers putin'. Like,
that shit was fire, man. Fire.
Computers putin'.
Yes, fire. I ain't no computers compute.
What you think they did if they didn't puke?
I know it's puke, dog. Shit.
Puke. But no, I just had to bring that up because that's just so random. San Diego Padres infielder, I cannot pronounce this man's name.
Jesus.
Tucupita.
Okay. That's all right.
Marcano. He's been banned from baseball for gambling. So
a couple other cats got suspended for a year.
Right,
yeah, they don't play in the MLB either.
Oh no, shit. Pete Rose still ain't there.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Like they said for life, my guy. It's for
that
life.
is very, very true.
They need to get
They
a boy
said,
MVP,
like,
though.
Here's the thing about gambling. They said this man made 231 MLB related bets, and he hit on 4.3%.
Oh,
They not even
horrible
winning.
Not
percentage.
even good at it.
Horrible percentage.
Not even winning. Probably lost over $100,000.
Speaking of, did I win my prize
Horrible
picks today?
percentage.
It's late enough for me to be able to check, I think.
But no, they cleared Shohei Ohtani.
MLB.
They cleared Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, he ain't had nothing to do with it.
They cleared him because his fall guy took the fall.
That's what you got Fall Guy for.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of having a Fall Guy.
I ain't hit today on prize picks. I'm just like Marcano.
Yeah.
Kylian Mbappe, he signed a 5-year deal with Real Madrid.
That shit crazy. That shit crazy.
What's crazy about it?
Quickly.
Kylian, put it like this: NBA comparison. It's like LeBron joining the Warriors with KD on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
bet.
there you
Who's
go.
the KD in this situation?
Dennis DJ. I forgot his full name. It's
So they
like
already
Dennis-
got us. Like
they already got a
superstar.
cold ass player.
Okay.
And now they
It's like
got
they just added
Vinicius
him.
Jr. something like that.
Okay.
My
son know them. I don't know. He
then
know,
adding
he know
Kylian
more about
Mbappe.
soccer than I do and shit.
I used to be into
He was talking about Messi and shit. I'm like, motherfucker, how you know about all that?
Hey, tapped in like you ain't tapped in.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, you can have more time to learn that stuff when you ain't got a job and bills and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, Novak
True.
Djokovic, he pulled out of the French Open due to injury.
Okay.
So it was funny. I was just talking to my husband. He's like, "When's the French Open?" I was like, "Memorial Day. Like it's now." So okay. I had a memory lane Monday question in here. I was gonna put it in here to try to drop up some content, but it's already been about an hour, almost hour 40. So we're gonna wrap up here. Any housekeeping as a reminder, y'all, please rate and review the show. If you were in the YouTube, please like the video. Sharing helps tremendously, so make sure that y'all do that. Dropping comments also helps. Thank you to everybody who did come through to the show being recorded live. We appreciate you, and we'll be back next week for some more Tech Foul. As I said earlier, make sure you subscribe, or not subscribe, you follow us on all of our different socials. We are going to look to be a little bit more active, so we need to hear from y'all. So tap in there. And
NFL season is right around the corner. Get your Black Quarterback merch.
that's that. Get your Tech Foul merch as well. So to wrap up here, if you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me
Wait a minute.
on Twitter, Instagram at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE.
At Bucks Burner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Everyday_gentleman on Instagram. K Harris216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me.
All right.
Dilly.
All right, bring it back.
That's old.
That's my shit.
That's an
man.
oldie, but a goodie.
What commercial was that for?
It was like a
Some Bill
It's a
Budweiser?
Budweiser?
Yeah,
Budweiser.
old.
House of the
Dragons.
Dragon. Starts in a few weeks. Next week, right?
Father's Day.
Father's Day. I'm locked in. Power start this week, too. I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
I'm locked out.
Y'all be watching the shot?
This shot don't be cracking, but
No, this season cracking, man. The shot cracking
the
is
shot's been
Shout out all the
weird
shows.
for
the shot
the
cracking.
last couple, like the first 2 seasons of the shot.
It's wild.
Fire.
Yeah.
After that, it's been
Oh, they made up this season.
No, I just got to finish watching season for the band.
I still
love the
ain't tap into that yet.
love it.
Great
Gotta tap
acting.
in.
Fantastic show.
Gotta tap in. It's about a restaurant, right?